And Bruce, we've had, what, 3 or 4 days of just great sunny weather.
Yeah.
Seriously, we've been spoiled, and now it's time for a payback.
We figured that was coming here pretty soon.
You knew sooner or later the 7-day forecast wasn't going to be like sun all the way across. I'll tell you, we've got fog again tonight, though. That's one of the issues this evening. If you take a live look outside from our I-5 at Wilsonville camera, some patchy fog starting to form. The setup for this actually began this morning. Let me show you the time lapse, the way we started the day. All that fog we had today was a sign the air is very damp and moist, and maybe you can even feel that moisture out there tonight, even if you don't have fog. We never really dried the air, even though we did clear our skies. And the way we finished the day with the sun going over the West Hills, just a few high clouds, that is like we're sleeping without a blanket with no clouds, and our temperatures have been falling fast. Now, current temperatures right now, 37 in Salem, already 36 in Eugene, and 39 in Astoria. And check out our weather bug network, and here we go over to the west side. I mean, we've got mid-30s, Newburgh already 35, Beaverton at 36 degrees, and as the temperatures keep falling a couple more degrees, fog is going to be widespread again. East side temperatures, Oregon City down to freezing right now. Wow, that's one of your coldest nights in quite some time. So we definitely are seeing a trend, and with these falling temperatures, it's this vicious circle. Here we go again, back to more fog forming tomorrow morning. Now, it won't be up in the hills. Those of you up above the valley floor will still have a nice start to the day tomorrow with some higher clouds streaming in, but for the rest of us, we'll be back in the fog for our Wednesday morning start. Now, high temperatures today, we cleared first in Portland, made it up to 54. That's about 5 degrees above average. Other than that, temperatures close to average with that fog hanging on. All right, so we've got some high clouds coming across tonight. No big deal, but a wet stretch of weather is on deck. And here is storm system number 1. It's developed out over the Pacific, and it's a pretty solid area of rain that'll roll across our skies as we go through the day tomorrow. I think we escape with a dry commute, but the flip side of that is we have the fog because there's nothing to really stir it up. So plan on a foggy drive in the morning, and you can see that the rain's not really here yet first thing. I think by midday or so, we'll start to see areas of rain developing, and that really increases in the afternoon tomorrow. And then here we go into Thursday morning. It's still wet, and even east of the Cascades, some areas of snow over the Blues, for example. Then we get into Thursday evening, and cooler air comes in. The snow really piles up in the Cascades. We need that shot of snow. And then we go here into Friday, and we get reinforcements again. So you can see that, we're getting this lineup of systems like we sometimes do during the rainy season. We just haven't seen it lately. Now, tomorrow in central and eastern Oregon, other than fog, you'll actually have some breaks in the clouds early on. Temperatures climb into the mid to upper 40s a lot of places. In the gorge, it's a dry start, but you'll see rain developing on the west end and perhaps all the way into Hood River. It'll be snow and rain showers in the Cascades, the snow level at the passes. Tomorrow night, several inches of snow during night skiing. And then here we go along the coast tomorrow, rain at times and cooler temperatures down a bit. And then we've got mid-40s up and down the I-5 corridor. The clouds increasing, the rain developing after the morning fog, of course. Now, tonight in Portland proper, we're going down to 38. That's pretty much the warmest place around, though. Most other places will be closer to the freezing mark. And then tomorrow, 46 for a high temperature. Some fog areas out the door, and then we'll turn the weather wet. And here's that 7-day forecast. I couldn't find too much sun to put on there, so we put a bunch of raindrops on there instead. We may have breaks at times. I think a good candidate where we could see a break could be a chunk of Saturday, so that'll be nice. I'll let you know as we get closer to the weekend.
Okay, and snuggle weather on Valentine's Day. Just what you want.
It definitely is.
Information for the storm in New York City. They've closed school there for what, only the 3rd time in the last 6 years?
It is very rare, and what that tells you, Kelly, is we're not just dealing with snow with this particular storm. Let me show you. I think they're going to be talking about the blizzard of 2010, and what we're looking at is 12 to 18 inches of snow, places like Manhattan by Wednesday night. On top of that, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's going to lead to major snow drifts, and of course, poor visibility. I mean, it won't be safe to get out and drive in New York City. This won't be the hardest hit of the East Coast, though. Here's snowcast. See the areas in purple stretching from Philly up through Boston. There's kind of this arc right here looking at 18 to 24 inches of snow. And here's the very latest up-to-the-minute radar. It is coming down like crazy, and the storm extends back a ways, so there's more cold air wrapping back in behind the system to keep the snow going. So they've got a long road ahead. We've got a wet road ahead before long. Details on when that gets started in a few minutes. The snow piled up. The traffic backed up. and the airport closed up.
When I got to the front of the line, they basically said that they were closing down and sending everybody home.
So much snow just before Christmas 2008, it seemed like the North Pole had come to the Northwest. A 50-year cold snap and a 40-year snowfall. We still remember.
Having 3 bus connections and a train that wasn't working, and it took me about 2.5 hours to get to work several days.
One of the first white Christmases I've had in a long time.
Snuggled up by the fire and drank a lot of hot chocolate.
Oh, I got major cabin fever.
So I just enjoyed the serenity of it and seeing people cross-country ski down the middle of the street.
But this year, everything in the atmosphere seems to have changed. The Pacific Ocean is warming. It's the return of El Nino. This phenomenon takes the typical storm track and lifts it north part of winter, so some of our cool, wet storms go there instead. And El Nino usually aims the storm track at California more often, taking our wettest and warmest storms down south. So I see us having a drier than normal winter, fewer rainy days than typical, and occasional breaks from those endless stretches of winter rain. I still think we'll see at least one significant snowfall on the valley floor, with several inches of snow to deal with. And here's why. It is rare that we'd have an incredible winter like last year, followed by just rain the next. I went through snow records dating back to 1871, and just like the winters of 92 to 94, snowy years are repeatedly grouped together. But what about mountain snow? Well, like most El Nino ski seasons, I think we'll get off to a pretty good start, then stall out at times. So the mountains should be fine for skiing and snowboarding, but expect fewer fresh snow days along with lower than average snowpack. Back in the valley, it seems like last year's unbelievable snow and cold left many of us wanting more.
I think winter's a beautiful thing, and I think we need a little more of the ice and snow this year.
We're about to see if dreams of winter white come true again this winter. 19 inches of snow. That's what we had last December. But more than anything, the month is a gray one. We averaged 23 days with cloudy skies. Whatever happens this time, let's go through it together right here on KOIN Local 6. It's December, and if you're hoping to unwrap a white Christmas, the odds are just 1% in Portland. Forget the odds, though. Last Christmas, we had a foot of snow on the ground. Whatever happens this time, let's go through it together here on KOIN Local 6.